7 and welcome back to the channel. So I've owned the Simagic Evo Pro and GT Neo for about 3 months now, and let me tell you, what an experience it's been. There's been good, there's been bad, there's been great. We're going to cover all of that in this video. However, before I get into this review is brought to you with friend and partner of the channel, simracer.uk, a company run by sim racers for sim racers. And with the code justdave, you can save 5% off Simagic, Moza and Conspit. This 5% off code does not give me any money, does not support the channel, does not give me a kickback at all. This is something that SimRacer did for viewers of the channel. You get 5%, I get nothing. Enjoy your discount. So recently, Will at Boosted Media did a video that resonated really hard with me around the transparency with reviews and reviewers, not disclosing any bias or intentions, whether it was a review, whether it was a sponsorship, an endorsement. So anyone that's spoken to me personally will know that this channel is and always will be focused on what brings value to you, the viewer. And any items that are gifted, bought or loaned will be highlighted in the videos. Having said that, I did buy this bundle from SimRacer with a very small discount in exchange for a review. But SimRacer will not see this video before it goes live. They've had no input, they have no idea what I'm going to say. And the same also goes with Simagic, they've got no idea either. Outside of that, there is no bias in this review, and as always, you will get my 100% honest thoughts and feelings, both good and bad. Now, I'm not a technical person when it comes to the base specs in sim racing, and in all honesty, I really don't care about things like slew rate and all that other jargon. I care about how the hardware feels, the user experience, the ease of use, the quality of the product, and that's the angle I'm going to be taking with this video. So first up, let's start with build quality. I've been very impressed with the quality of the Simagic products, I will have to say that. I did say in my initial impressions video that I was nervous about leaving Fanatec, as I liked their feedback, I liked my Formula V 2.5, as well as the quality of the shifters on the Fanatec wheels. In this regard, I had nothing to worry about. I said that in the initial impressions video, and it still stands true 3 months later. The quality of the Evo Pro and GT Neo are fantastic. Yes, there is plastic on the front and back of the base, but just as I said in my CSL-DD overview, how often do you actually touch those areas realistically? Now, I know some people will say that this could affect heat dissipation. However, heat has never been an issue for me on the Evo Pro, even turned up to 18 Newton meters in the sweatbox that was my office in a summer-long UK heat wave with no aircon. Heat has not been a problem at all. The quality of the base itself is top-notch. Even with the plastic bits on the front and the rear, there's nothing here that's been rushed together. There's no rough edges, the power button at the back does what it says it should do, and being at the back is not actually an issue at all. The QR system, while tight, has always been solid. Overall, with the base, there really is nothing here to complain about. Now, the GT Neo may be plastic or forged, carbon plastic, forged something or other, I don't know. But even in the 3 months I've had it, I haven't had even the slightest bit of flex, even when trying to force flex into it. But I have started to get a little clicking noise in the last few weeks when driving, and I can't quite pick up exactly what it is. Now, it could be from the quick release, as it doesn't really sound like a plastic creak. It's more of a click. Nothing to be concerned about, more of a, I wonder what that is type thing, but I thought it was something worth mentioning. Other than that, it's been perfect. I recently had the Fanatec DD Plus on the rig for an upcoming video, and honestly, the Formula V 2.5 had been my favourite wheel I'd used. However, I am shocked and surprised to say that that crown now belongs to the GT Neo, at least for now. Is it objectively better than the Formula V 2.5? No. But subjectively, yes. In some ways, it's better, in other ways, it's not as good, at least in my opinion. The shifters, for example, are great, but they're not on the same level of greatness as the ones on the Formula V 2.5. They are objectively better. The buttons have a clear and distinct plastic feeling and hollow click sound. Personally, and this is subjective, I preferred the thumb encoders on the Formula V 2.5. They were both better and easier to use, but the placement of them on the GT Neo is better. Okay, so why do I prefer the GT Neo over the Formula V 2.5? Well, for a start, it's comfier to use. It's comfier to hold in the hands, the grips are thicker. I don't need to wear gloves if I don't want to. There's more buttons, there's more rotary encoders, and weirdly, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, but the RGB lights really add to it. They add to the experience of using the wheel, they make seeing your buttons easier. They also allow you to know when you've turned your base off and remind you when you haven't done it, which, let's face it, we've all done that. And as a complete package offering, the GT Neo is just a better wheel in my humble opinion, especially when you factor in the price. £295 in the UK is a ridiculous price for the quality of wheel you actually get with the GT Neo. Okay, so user experience. What's the user experience like with the Evo Pro? To be perfectly honest, it's awesome. I can't really fault it too much. But there is a learning curve that can be quite steep which you will get hit with. The bass is sharp, it's quick, very quick. The detail you can achieve with the settings is absolutely amazing with the new firmware. Now, when I first joined the ecosystem, there was heavy dampening baked into the firmware, and honestly, outside of the extra Newton meters I got from my CSL-DD, 8 Newton meters, so there's 10 Newton meters difference here, I just didn't get the hype. I couldn't understand it. I wasn't sure, am I not feeling something? Am I doing something wrong? Add in the noise that the bass can make with the wrong settings, I had some real, genuine buyer's remorse. However, I am very stubborn and I persisted my little pale Scottish backside off, and I was rewarded with an absolutely great bass. The new firmware has transformed the Evo Pro for me. If you do get one of these basses or already have one, I thoroughly recommend joining the Simagic Discord, as well as mine, obviously, link is in the description. However, join the Simagic one and you will have plenty of people that can talk you through settings for all the games that you want to play. In particular, big shout out to Mike Ward from Simagic, does some great settings for LMU and ACC, and Chad McNeese, who has some great settings for iRacing. Both lads are very nice, they're very approachable, and they are more than happy to help. So, Sim Pro Manager. It's a nice piece of software, it's easy to use and difficult to master, that comes to mind. The Evo Pro comes with a whole host of options for tuning your bass. All the Evo series does, in fact. And this can be overwhelming to begin with. They do offer some bass settings for each game, but in all honesty, they're not great. They're loud, and often don't feel that nice to me, particularly. However, once you get your head around them, you can pretty much get any feeling out of this bass you want, and that's the biggest compliment I can give to it. You can get any feeling out of the Evo series. If you want to have a more Fanatec dampened feeling, that's easy to do. If you want it raw and just sharp and just batter your hands off, you can achieve that as well. You can have the software switch profiles for you automatically per game. I don't think that's anything unusual nowadays. And you could do that for the wheel settings, the bass settings, your pedals. And while this is useful, I'd really love to have profile switching per car, or at the very, very least a hotkey option to allow you to switch profiles using a keyboard or Stream Deck. For LMU, to me, this is just a must. The difference between GT3s and prototypes is so high that just switching profiles is just a pain when you have to go into the software. So as far as bugs go, until recently I had none to report. However, currently there's a bug that's not switching the brake pedal force percentage on profiles. It's certainly not doing it automatically. While not grain breaking, and most will never use it, it is something that does frustrate me. Now, let's talk about the not so good. So you've heard me mention noise a couple of times, and I really do want to address this because this is the elephant in the room when it comes to the Evo series, particularly the Pro. This is the one big flaw of this bass. With the wrong settings, this bass is loud, annoyingly loud, and it can easily be heard above the game sound sometimes. Now you can dial this out through setting changes, and you really, really should. I did do a video on this recently covering which settings really do affect noise and how you can actually tame the noise using settings. But once you dial this in properly though, you will have a bass that is tuned to be both quiet and give you fantastic levels of detail. Now when it comes to ease of use, I wouldn't say that the bass is necessarily ideal for the complete beginner coming into the hobby. And that would be no matter which Evo you're looking at. But that is just my opinion, and let me explain why. There are so many settings here that you need to be aware of that will either help or hinder the feel you're looking to get. And when you're just beginning, you have no idea what that feeling is. Now these can either add to or reduce the noise levels of the bass as well. And I think for the complete beginner and people just coming to this bass, that noise is going to catch them off guard. If you're someone who just wants to plug and play, I'm not sure this is the bass for you. If, however, you're like me and you're more than happy to research, ask questions, and spend some time dialing it in, and it can be quite a bit of time that you'd need to spend, then go for it. There's absolutely no reason not to get this bass. Outside of the settings, the software is very easy to use. It's detailed and easy to navigate in general, with acceptable hints as to what each setting does. In terms of driving, the force feedback is clean, it's precise, it's fast, it's easy to understand what the wheel's telling you. Catching slides is much easier on this bass than it was on my CSL-DD, and you can clearly feel what the car is doing when you're pushing too hard. The feedback you get from this bass is great, there's no denying that. And I struggle to believe that basses that are £500 more expensive give you anything even remotely close to £500 better force feedback. In terms of price to performance, the value is there, and it's a damn good deal in my opinion. Black Friday is coming, however. Whether this bundle will be in the Black Friday deal, I'm not too sure, but keep an eye on the website for that. And I think it's obvious from my thoughts in this video that the Evo Pro and the GT Neo is a quality product. And with that in mind, I would rate this as a strong, strong buy without any hesitation or any caveats. Would I buy this again with my own money like I did the first time? Abso-freaking-lutely, and twice again on Sunday. So I've been Just Dave, reminding you all to keep it rubber side down, never give up, and remember, we do this for fun. So be kind to each other. Till next time, take care.